Hello, my mindful adventurers. Are you ready for your weekly dose of the blog post and a new month? This month is February 2026, and today is Wednesday, the first Wednesday of the month, and you'll probably see this in the future at some point, very far in the future. But that's okay. These are timeless messages. All of these things can be applied to your life right now, and that's the wonderful part about all this. But this month. Oh, sorry. I was about to say, my name is Jamila. Hi. I'm the host here. I'm the one who is running the channel and doing all the edits and doing all the behind the scenes stuff and the website and all that stuff. So you guys should definitely go check out all the things. If you want to see the blog, because the blog, this is a companion video to the blog. Because this month is all about relationships. We're talking about relationships with ourselves. We're starting off with relationships with ourselves. Next week, we'll talk about relationships with others, including romantic relationships, and then we'll be talking about relationship with the environment, and then we'll be ending off with our relationship with divinity, with the creation, with the universe, the creator, not creation. Well, the universe is the creator, is the creation of the creator. So anyway, so that is what we're working on, because from the source, from us, all the way up to this like abstract kind of idea, we are a part of the connection. We are connected. We are all in a relationship with all of these things, and all of these things need to be strengthened, I feel like, in order to have a good quality of life. You may not believe that, that's okay, but if you're here, I'm assuming you're here to learn, so let's learn together. Let's talk, right? And don't be afraid to comment down below. And just know that this is going to be like a conversation kind of thing, and it's not going to be as formal as the blog post, but you can check that out below if you'd like to. The blog post is titled Dating the Soul, Why You Are Your Own Greatest Adventure, because we are our own greatest adventure. Yes, if we have significant others, it feels like they are a great adventure, but we are our own greatest adventure. Aside from them, we are always with ourselves at all times. So why can't we be our own greatest adventure? Why can't we be romantically, intimately involved with ourselves? I'm not saying like to the extreme of being a complete narcissist, but I'm just saying to the effect of loving ourselves deeply, so that when we're dealing with things, that we have our own back. Like, we're here for ourselves. We're not here to stop ourselves or sabotage ourselves. We're here to help ourselves at all points in life, and to make sure that we grow and become the best versions of ourselves. Because like recently, I've been doing a lot of introspection. I've been doing a lot of basically everything we were talking about last month with the den, and being grounded and learning how to prepare for the springtime. I'm still in my winter time, but I know that after amount of time of being alone, of being in solitude, we crave human connection, because we're humans. Humans crave social interactions. I mean, even if you don't like everyone, that's fine. You probably have your human that you like, or a couple humans that you like to exchange information with or talk to. Even if they're just like a random person at the store, you don't talk to anybody, but the random person at the store, you like to just come in, get a smile for them, smile at them, or ask them how they're doing, the little small talk things. So yeah, I'm just excited. I'm excited to talk to you guys about this, because like I said, I've been working on these things. I've been working on loving myself, and this is not my first blog post about self-love. I will actually put those blog posts down. Actually, I have a lot of blog posts about self-love, but specifically loving ourselves, self-care, and that type of things. I have many of those, so you should definitely go check out the website, because there's all kinds of resources for you, and I'm just excited. Like I said, I'm excited to dive into this topic. So without further ado, I'm going to talk about this red string theory, because not red string theory exact, well, red string vision. I had a vision the other day before a major event that I had to go to. It was actually my first formal wedding. First wedding I actually been to where I was there for the groom and not the bride. So that was kind of interesting. But aside from all of that, I had like this red string like moment, like a couple of days before the wedding. I was outside doing a little nature walk, just vibing and trying to like ground, because you guys know I've been grounding. I've been grounding a lot. It's been evident in my videos too. I can't sit on the ground today because it is wet. It rained earlier for like 30 minutes, like poured, and then it stopped. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, Texas is crazy. It is wintertime. I promise you, it's wintertime, even though it looks like it's not wintertime. At least with all this green, and I'm wearing shorts and an oversized jacket. You know. Anyway, but I was outside, and I was grounding, and I had this vision. I was just kind of looking out over the horizon, looking at the clouds. I love to look at the clouds. I'm a sky watcher. I like staring at the sky. But I was looking at the clouds, and all of a sudden I felt like on my pinky. I don't remember if it was this one or if it was the other. I think it was this one. But I felt on my pinky like a tug. And I remember looking down, and I saw this like red string just like going off into like the horizon, into the direction of where the wedding was. And I thought that was really interesting because I've never seen anything like that. I get a lot of visions, but that one's very interesting. It was like a fated interaction. I needed to go there. Like I needed to be there. I needed not to wimp out and like not go because of some minor inconveniences. With like with my dress, because I ordered a dress and I didn't quite fit it. Like it's always been my thing with dresses. Like they'll fit the hips but not the waist and the bust, or fit the bust but not the waist. So I had to do some alterations, and it was a lot of late nights, a lot of getting frizzled out, a lot of being cranky. So there was a lot of times where I was like, this is horrible, but it's really not horrible. It's just the process. I had to trust the process. I trust the process. Everything ended up working out fine. Everyone loved the dress, even though it looked a little weird to me. Other people thought it was amazing. They loved it. So that's just like a random aside. Like, trust the process. Trust the process. Okay. Trust the process of me talking today, because I know today is probably going to be like a kind of thing, but I got my notes, and I'm trying to stick to them as closely as possible. But you guys, if you guys don't know me, I like to talk. I like to yap. And I like to tell stories. So I like to I like to give all the details and the nitty gritty and give you guys a full picture kind of thing. That's what I like to do. Okay. But yeah, the thread itself, like, let's make sure this is full on. Okay. But the thread itself is, it leads to other people. It leads to like experiences and connections and things of that nature. But it starts with me. It starts with who I am. Like your red string, your strings, your ties to other people. That starts with you. It doesn't start with other people. It starts with you. Your connection to them, to that string. Like, even if it was, if I actually had a physical string, I let's just pretend. Okay, guys, I'm really good at imagination. You guys should be good at imagination. This is not string, obviously, but it is tied to something, right? And like, this is breaking, but let's just say it's on my pinky. Okay, let's pretend it's wrapped around my pinky, right? See it, right, see it on my pinky, right? And it starts with me, right? Because like, this is, of course this is grass, and obviously it starts from the root up, but this is the example. This is tied to me, tied to the end, tied to where this goes. Like, this is tied to something, right? There's something on the other end of this, and it starts, like, the connection starts with me, because it's like my pinky was available, or I was available for that connection, for this connection to this other person, or to this experience. Like I said earlier, like the experience to the wedding. I needed to go to the wedding. I'm not gonna lie, after the wedding, it was definitely a big confidence boost for me. I've been better at setting my boundaries and like enforcing my needs, which is really interesting, that something as simple as going to a wedding and just existing like could lead me to a point where I'm like being more, I'm advocating more for myself. This is very interesting, but you never know what you need, where you need to go, what you need to do in order to like reach that next level of like self-love and the next level of your journey. Like, it might be something you never thought of. Like, I never thought a wedding was going to like prompt me to want to like stand up for myself and like be that person that I know I could be for myself. Like, who would have thunk it? Who would have thought, right? So just know that all of the relationships that we have with other people, all of the things that we have tied to other people, it all starts with us, because we are available for that. We're making ourselves available for that connection. And this is going to come up later in this, so remember what I said about being available for the connection and not the connection like finding you and hunting you down or some shit. Like, okay? So, without further ado, let's get into it. I said that earlier, but I mean it. I mean, I always mean it. You guys love me. You guys love me. That's why you're here. If you didn't love me, you guys would have been gone. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are probably also trying to get information. So you love me and you like the information? Charismatic? I don't know. Maybe there's some people that aren't truly ready to hear what I have to say. And that's why I keep going off on a tangent. I don't know. That was cold. Yeah, I believe in the power of the creator to make a way where it doesn't seem to make a way, and create connections where you don't really see them but you're ready for them. Anyway, yes, okay, back to the prompt. I mean, back to the thing, right? So, we spend our whole lives dating other people and like befriending other people and getting to know other people and understand what people like and what they don't like and what they tolerate and what they don't tolerate, and what kind of person they are, and all this random, what their favorite color is and all this stuff, right? But like, when was the last time we sat and looked at ourselves that way and looked at ourselves in the mirror and was like, you're someone I want to get to know. You're someone that I want to spend my whole life with and to be immersed in and to be one with. When was the last time that we've done that, right? Like, I know it sounds cheesy and corny, but like, how are you supposed to be your own soulmate if you can't even do that? So we're gonna talk about the difference between self-care and self-intimacy here. Like, I mean, this is not the only thing we're talking about, but this is the next point. Self-care and self-intimacy. This is the first point, technically. But self-care is kind of like a maintenance thing. And I've talked about self-care being a form of self-love, or using self-care as a form of self-love, and it really is. I mean, self-care is, in its own way, a form of self-discipline, which is a form of self-love. Actually, probably one of the most deepest forms of self-love is self-discipline, because we are telling ourselves and the universe and everybody around us that we are going to do what we said we were going to do, and we're going to do it regardless of, and we're going to do that. Yeah, we're going to do it regardless of external circumstances, because that's the promise that we made to ourselves, and that's what we're going to do. These are the boundaries that we're upholding with ourselves, that self-discipline, right? So with that self-discipline in mind, if we're going to be maintaining ourselves or like committing ourselves to self-care, when we do such self-care, it is a form of self-discipline, because we are saying we're going to show up for ourselves in the way of, brushing our teeth, or taking a shower, or going to the gym, or cleaning up our space, just like things like that. Like, what else kind of self-care? Why when I have made my self-care video, not video, I didn't make a video, but these are all most of the self-love and self-care stuff was like blog posts, so exclusively. So whatever ones that I feel like are the most relevant, I'll wrangle them up and down, look and put them down there, and you guys can see whatever title seems interesting to you, or whatever. So anyway, back to what I was saying. But self-care like also is also just like taking the time to get if we have a spiritual practice, indulging in that, or if we have like hobbies, indulging in that. Grounding ourselves is another form of self-care, because when you're not grounded, you're just kind of everywhere. It's like, when you're not grounded, it's like being I almost said basketball. I don't know what I don't know. It's like being a helium balloon and not being tied down to a weight. So you're just floating around throughout time and space, probably gonna pop at some point, whatever, but you could have been like grounded to one spot, you know what I mean? So in that way, like, that's what grounding is. But that's a part of self-care. That's maintenance. That's making sure that you don't go fucking insane, right? So when we're doing that, we're getting to know ourselves. We're not really truly getting to know ourselves as intimately as we could, as intimately as we should be. Because like while we're doing these self-care things, we should be checking in with ourselves and seeing how we feel while we're doing these things. And this is where it turns into more of a self-intimacy. Intimacy is telling ourselves, or like asking ourselves while we're doing these self-cares, how do we feel while we do this? How do we feel when this is happening? How do we feel when we show up for ourselves? Like, how does showing up for ourselves make us feel? How do we make ourselves feel? And the actions that we do, how do those make us feel? Specifically actions for ourselves, not really actions for other people or like past mistakes and those types of things, but I'm talking about actions that we do for ourselves, right? So that's where you start to like really go into actually knowing yourself, actually knowing who you are, what you stand for, and the kind of person that you desire to be. You baby. My dog is like over there rolling in the grass. He might come over here soon, but we'll see. He usually makes a cameo in these videos. Let's see. So one of the things that I want to challenge you, because it was a challenge for me. Like I heard it, I remember hearing it and I was like, that is corny. Like you were right. Cause I heard it from a podcaster that I listened to. I actually heard it from several podcasts. Actually, I think all of the podcasters that I listen to have brought this up. Most of them have brought it up. I don't want to say all of them, but most of them have brought it up. But basically where you look at yourself in the mirror, like I said earlier, and you look at yourself in your mirror and like, can you look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that you love yourself, or that you're willing to accept all of your flaws, or that none of your flaws matter? Like, can you look at yourself and not be like, oh, there's a blemish. Oh, my nose is that way. Oh, my eyes, or I don't know, maybe, oh, my eyebrows are always fucking crazy, or oh, I have tiny little eyelashes, or oh, like, and you look at yourself and you're like, oh, my body's not the shape that I wanted, or oh, can you look at yourself without all of that? Can you look at yourself and just be like, damn, I'm a whole ass fucking human being, and I'm amazing, beautiful, and my body is here to support me and to love me, so I need to be here to support and love my body. We can't we can't exist without our bodies. Our bodies literally are here just to take care of us. And I've talked about this before. And we'll be talking more about this next month, because next month's all about the mind-body connection. Because I've been wanting to talk about the mind-body connection for such a long time. So we'll be talking more about intuition and stuff like that next month. But anywho, for this month, sad topic. When you look at yourself in the mirror, like, can you look at yourself, and be eager to get to know you, and be eager to learn more about yourself, rather than being like, oh, I see all my flaws. Like, what about all your beauties? What about all the things about you that make you unique, make you who you are, make you individual to anybody else ever that's ever existed, that you've ever met, that you've ever been around, any of that? Can you look at yourself and like accept that? And clearly, if you're here, either you're having troubles with that, or that's something that maybe you're fine with that. But it's getting to the next point, really getting intimate while you're not looking at the mirror, while you're not looking at yourself. Because what I find most challenging is remaining intimate with myself when I'm not looking at myself directly, or when I'm in a situation where it's chaotic, or that my feelings, or my attention, I should say my attention is kind of everywhere. So yeah, how where do you like where I don't know where I was going with that, but the example, I know that example was complete and it made sense, so I think I'm just gonna move on. If it comes back, I'll come back to it. It just kind of like, so but my last little bit here, like, another challenge for you too is like, if you were dating yourself, like actually dating yourself, right? And you know how like when you're dating someone for the first time or whatever, you're like, they do these things, or like, I don't like how I'm being treated, or I don't know how they're treating this, or those types of things, like little critiques. If you were dating yourself and you were looking at how you were treating yourself, would you be happy, satisfied, content with how you're treating yourself, with how you're being treated in the relationship? Are you being put on the back burner? Are you basically being told that, not being told, but are you basically telling yourself that you are not worthy of a best friend, of an intimacy that can only come from yourself? Like, how are you being treated, right? Are you treating yourself unfairly? Are you treating yourself fairly? Are you showing yourself that unconditional, amazing, deep love that I know you got for yourself deep down, even if you feel like you hate yourself? I know you love yourself somewhere. You got to. Because you wouldn't be here if you weren't loving yourself. Like, you're already like almost 20 minutes in and you're telling me you don't love yourself? Come on, man. Have some type of love. There wouldn't be a reason for you to want to get better or to heal or to like evolve if you didn't love yourself to some extent, right? Am I spitting or am I spitting? I don't know. Leave it in the comments. Am I spitting? I don't know. I'm just kidding. little comedy interjection. Okay. So the next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, like, was a little recap from January, because I did talk about it a little bit earlier. Like, I'm still in that I have to sneeze, I think. Okay. I sneezed. Anyway, if I would have left that on, you would have been like, oh my god, my ears. It doesn't matter what you're listening to me on, your ears will be done. Sneeze echoed all the way out through the fucking forest, so I know that your eardrums would have been gone. Anyway, but last month we talked about the unchecked masculine energy. We talked about masculine energy being the doer, the getter done, the kind of like the engine to the train, like the not enforcer, but the engine. It's really just the engine, really that driving force, the get her done, the do thing, the strive, the push. You know what I mean? That pushing energy, not like pushing in a pushy way, but a pushing in a like let's get her done type of way. And also like a protector and like a warrior, like those types of things, right? And so like basically unchecked masculine becomes survival mode. Survival mode is where you are not quite in so I'll probably want to say concert, but I know it's like a really weird terminology that we don't use like that. But you're like in harmony. There we go. In harmony with yourself. Harmony? Yeah, you're not in harmony. Yes, you're not in harmony with yourself. You're just trying to survive. And whatever survival means is what you do. So even if it means to like continue to be trigger warning, but continue to be in an abusive relationship, or continue to be disrespected at work, or continue to be anything that you could think of that wouldn't make sense why you'd want to stay that way, but people do it for whatever reason. That's the survival mode. You're just trying to get through. You're just trying to make sure that you can make it through to the other end. And that's another thing. Like, I'm trying to break out of survival mode to the point where I know I feel safe, like in my body, where my nervous system feels secure in my body, not like I have no control. And not that I need to have control in order to feel safe, but to have like I guess no control on whether or not I feel like I'm in survival or whether I'm in a state of just being and receiving, which is very different from being in survival mode. And that's very different from just being like that's very different from me just saying like I just wish I could stop like being anxious and stuff like that. No, it's not that. It's not just that. It's deeper. I want to lean more into my feminine so I can allow myself to just be, because I've been doing for so long, and this really hasn't gotten me anywhere. And honestly, if I'm gonna be honest with you guys, fully honest, I had a conversation in one of my comments with one of my followers about this. But the more I did, the more I pushed, the more I strove to like reach my goals and to like achieve something, the more I held back I felt. And now that I'm actually letting things happen and like accepting things and like being more open to gifts and to just any type of aid from people, it's really allowed a lot of things into my life that I never thought I would be able to just like poof, it fucking happened. What? Like, I'm getting proof, right? That it's not with the doing. You know, we need to not rely, but we need to find a way to like step away from that survival mode, because survival mode is what keeps us from even getting intimate with ourselves. It keeps us from even like learning more about ourselves. It keeps us from having a good quality of life because we're so scared, we're so anxious, we're so maybe you're just fucking angry, and that you just feel this way. Like, you just feel like everything you do is like just to get by, you know what I mean? Like, you're just doing what you can do in order not to die. You're just trying to survive. That's literally what survival mode is. And that's not just like with bills or like work. This is just like with everything. It could be conversations. It could be, like I said earlier, relationships. It could be like situations. It could be a lot of things. It's not just like money. It could be emotional survival. It could be physical, like maybe, you know, your physical needs are not being met and you're in a situation where you're being treated like trash, you know what I mean? Or you're treating yourself like trash because you feel that this is how it needs to be. But that's not how it needs to be. And the you know, the inner the masculine, the masculine, not just masculine, but the technically, I guess in a way, would it be toxic or would it just be like the overactive masculine? I don't know what you call it, masculine overdrive. I don't know. We're just gonna call it survival mode, like I've been saying. But like when you're in this survival mode, like you go like the masculine, the energy, that warrior, that that doer, that get her done, goes from trying to do and get done to self-criticism, towards self-deprecation, and it does all of these things to keep you safe. It does all of these things to keep you where you are, because it knows that where you are is safer than where you have no idea, where you've never been. You know what I mean? Like there's a saying, humans will embrace, or no, humans would rather stay in a wait, yes, people humans would rather stay in an unfavorable hell than leave to an unfamiliar heaven. In other words, they would stay in a situation where it was quite literally the worst fucking thing you could possibly imagine, instead of leaving and like go to freedom, because they've never done it. They don't know. They're not sure how that works. And I'm realizing that I'm also dealing with this too. Like, I am a human fucking being, all right? I'm telling you that right now. I don't care if you see these videos in 10 years and I'm a fucking billionaire and I have all this shit. I'm a fucking human, all right? First and fucking foremost, don't ever put me on a pedestal. Don't put nobody on a fucking pedestal. If anything, put your fucking self on a pedestal. That is what this energy is about. That is what this blog post is about. That is what this video is about. Put yourself on a fucking pedestal. But I'm still a human, right? And I still deal with these things. I literally, a couple days ago and today, I've been just working through this motion, this feeling like I've been in survival mode. I've been in it so deep that I realized that it's been severing the connection between myself and my soul, like mind body soul connection. It was more like a mind body, the soul is somewhere, but it's not quite here within me. It's not, well, not in me, but I'm not within it. It's not something like, it's not all together. It's like if, you know, this is my mind and my body, and then my soul was a third hand that's supposed to come up here. Where the fuck is it's like it's missing. That's what survival mode does. Like, your mind and body, oh yeah, they're together, but your soul is missing out, which is not helpful, because as human beings, we are a mind, body, and soul, or energy. I don't know what you believe in. I believe in souls, reincarnations, and things of that nature. But without that energy, or without that soul, like, our body and our mind lack. They don't get all of the things. You don't get all of the things necessary in order to live a healthy life. You have to feed your mind. You have to learning things, and going through challenges. That's what feeds the mind. When you're feeding your body, that's like, you know, food that you eat, your exercises, things that you do, like just different things that you do. And then when you're feeding your soul, that's like, going to church or doing like meditations or praying or spiritual walks or literally anything that's spiritual that you just feeding your soul. And when you're not doing all three of those things, at least, on a weekly basis, then your quality of life goes down. And what I wasn't realizing was that, yes, I'm feeding my spirit, but my spirit was not able to feed me. Like there wasn't it wasn't reciprocal, if that makes sense. Like it wasn't, yeah, it wasn't reciprocal. I feel like is receptive. It wasn't like a back and forth give and take. It was kind of like I'm just giving and giving and giving, but my soul is not able to even speak to me. So it's just like, I guess I'll just sit here and receive. Okay, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't really stepping into that version of myself that's really truly like, whole. And I just wanted to like say all that just to not just express that I'm human, but also to express that this is what survival mode looks like. It looks like you abandoning yourself or abandoning parts of yourself. For me, it was my spirituality. It might, for you, you could be spiritual adept. Maybe you're like the most spiritual person you know, or that anyone knows in your area, but you're neglecting your body or you're neglecting your mind. You know what I mean? So survival mode's tricky. Not everybody's going to experience the same exact type of survival mode, and you might not experience the same type of survival mode that I have. But God damn it, I'm a fucking human. Okay. So we have to choose. So we have like the free will. Like I've talked about, like for December was all about free will. Last month was all about grounding and integration. Well, kind of integration, but mostly introspection and like tapping into that secret underground world. I don't know how to explain it. Just basically being hibernating. And through all of that, we've been using our free will because our free will is incredibly important. Our free will is something that a lot of us forget that we have. I forget all the time. Every day I'll be like, oh, I have free will. And then I'll just like go do something that I enjoy, or I'd be like, oh, I have free will. And then I like remember that I can actually choose to do this thing instead of doing this other thing that I have to do. But knowing that I will do this thing that I want to do will give me the boost to do the thing that I have to do later. Because I'm giving myself that little bit of joy. Like it's like giving your dog a treat. Like your dog, gets the treats and they want to do more for you. It's kind of the same thing for me. So I'm using that choice. I want you to use that choice to free will, to choose a different path, to move from being our harshest critic to being our own sovereign protector, being the person that is everything that we've ever wanted, not the person that we thought that we had to be because we were trying to live, to survive, to strive. We deserve to be sovereign within ourselves. We deserve to be whole. We deserve to feel like, there's a bug on me. We deserve to feel like we are whole. Like we are. And see, I use the word sovereign, and I feel like a lot of people might not know what the word sovereign is, so I'm just gonna like define it in how I define sovereign, which might not be the Webster, Meridian, whatever the fuck, Perfect Dictionary, Oxford, whatever. But the definition of sovereign that I'm using is to being whole within oneself, able to govern and to protect oneself without the need of outside forces or outside supervision. In other words, you are autonomous. So I don't know why I felt like I needed to say that. So if you've been hearing me say sovereign for like the last 7 videos, that's why. that's what I'm talking about. This is what I be talking about. But we deserve to be our own sovereign protector. We deserve to be our own sovereign land, like our own sovereign people, like our own sovereign person. I don't know how to explain it. Like I feel like I am a kingdom. Like I'm not just a person, but I'm like a whole kingdom because there's so many aspects of myself. It's just, ooh, and I explain it. Just, ooh. Maybe I'll explain it better later. Okay, so the next part. Tools. Okay, back to the tools. I never said we were going to tools, but I said we were going to tools, but then I started singing. But you're still here, so I love that. Thank you. If you're still here, comment. I love you guys. Okay. So one of the first tools that I actually started doing with myself that I stopped doing because, again, this is a process of healing. Healing is not a linear, like sometimes you start doing something and then you stop doing it. Okay. So just know I'm human. You're human. It's okay if you fail. It's okay if you stop doing the thing. The whole point is that once you notice that, you start doing the thing again. Like literally, I am planning out a date for myself this week. I know I haven't even talked about it yet, but the first tool is a solo date. So it's not just like about taking yourself to coffee or getting like dinner or lunch or whatever, or to like go and I don't know, maybe you like plants and you like going to go see some plants bloom. I don't know, like sakuras, cherry blossoms, or you want to see some other things, or maybe you want to, I don't know, see the sunset over the, I don't know, maybe you live near a beach and you want to see the sunset on the beach because you haven't done it in a while, or maybe you want to take like a night drive like for like 2 hours just randomly into the countryside, like outside of town, you know what I mean? Like take yourself somewhere nice. Take yourself on a date. Take yourself somewhere you would take somebody that you want to get to know better, right? And the whole point of this is to not like focus on that thing, but to just be in the moment. So don't get on your phone, right? You could even journal if you wanted to, that's fine. But we're not journaling to escape. We're here to stay in the moment. That's another thing too that I forgot to mention earlier is a lot of people are terrified to be alone, to be silent with themselves. Like there's literally a fucking like I almost said clinical study. It wasn't a clinical study. It was a study though, but it wasn't clinical. But it was a study. Literally, men and women. I can't remember how big the study was. I think it was like a couple hundred people, but I think it was mostly women than men in the study. But what they found was that 60%, or no, 70%, was it 70% or 80%? I think it was, fuck it, we're just going to break it down individually. So for women, let me back up. What the fuck was the study about, Jamila? We haven't even talked about it. The study was spend 5 minutes alone in a room in silence, or get a little shock in the hand and then be done and go home. And you know how many people, what the percentage of people, of men who picked to get the shock and go home? It was like, I think it was somewhere around 80% or 95. It was some big ass fucking number. Percentage of men would rather get a shock and go home than sit in a room for 5 minutes of silence. And then for women, again though, like not as crazy as the men, but I think it was like 65, 70 or something like that percent of women would rather get the shock than sit in silence. So regardless of gender, right? We're not saying one side is better than the other. I don't care about that. What I care about is that majority of people in this fucking study would rather shock themselves than to sit in silence. So, and I think the study was done in the 90s. Maybe it was the 80s. Maybe I was tripping. I don't remember, but it was one of those. Like, yo, you think we've changed any much more? Like now we have phones and devices in our hands where we can get transported into a whole nother fucking world, and I don't even believe I could literally sit here right here in this field. Well, you can't really tell it's this field because I'm behind this thing, but there's a field. It's expansive. I can sit right here and watch. I can sit here and watch the new season of My Hero, and not even go in my house because I have access to the internet. Like, do you realize, like, it's only gotten worse. More people would probably prefer to get shot. Like those numbers would probably be drastically different. Like, I feel like the women, like, it probably would have been more looking like the original men, and then the original men would probably look more like they'd probably be the same. I still feel like that. I still have faith that about 10% of the applicants would want to like sit in silence, but majority of them I feel like would not. And a lot of people, that's what we do. So now that I've talked about that, let's bring it back in to these tools, because like I said, you know, the solo date, we don't need to have distractions. If you want to journal, you can. Literally, I took myself on a date and then I just sat in the corner of this, because I like to people watch. That's something I like to do, okay? I took myself on a date to people watch in the Asian supermarket, because I don't know, I just like to people watch. It doesn't matter where I am, I just people watch. But anyway, I got myself the little food from the hot thing, and I went to sit in the corner, and then I like sat in the corner and I ate my food, and I was watching the workers, you know, eat their food, and like people walk around and stuff, and I was just sitting there. My phone was put away. I think I left my phone in the car. Dude, like I just, you know, like just not have the distraction, you know, and like and sit there with yourself. I ended up, after I you know, ate my food and stuff, I started doodling. And then I started like journaling next to the doodles. And then I was just like chilling, but I felt so at peace just like being alone and like having the thoughts come in and out of my mind. Like, of course, this is after I've done like quite a bit of mindfulness practices where I don't get swept up in my emotions and my feelings and the thoughts, and I can actually sit in and be still and be like, oh, I see that thought come up, but I'm not going to indulge it. I'm just going to let it go. I've gotten really good at doing that, to the point where I need to come back to some of them thoughts and like think about them. But you know, like, that solo date could be an opportunity for you to practice that mindfulness, to be like, hey, I'm here to enjoy myself. I'm not here to sit here and worry about how that lady and her kid are staring at me. I'm not here to sit here and worry about how that bird, I don't know, flew at my face. I don't know. I don't know, flew at my face, but that squirrel tried to attack. I don't know. You're not here for that. You're here for yourself. You're not here for all the people around you. You're not here for like everything. You're just here for yourself and to enjoy yourself while you're enjoying the thing that you enjoy to do. And then the next tool, you know, we can do is checking in with yourself. What do we need? Like I said earlier, what do you need, right? What do I need? What do I need in this moment? Like right now, right now. Okay, I'm gonna do a check-in right now in front of you guys so everyone can see it. Everyone can see the check-in. Okay, checking in with myself. Okay, I feel it's not cold yet, but it's getting kind of cold, but it's not crazy cold. I'm a little chilly, but I'm warm. I can feel comfortable. Like I could probably stretch out and yeah, I can stretch out. I can get some water. I could go for some water. Let's drink some water. Drink some water. A deep breath, because I realize that I am talking so fucking fast. But that's because I don't want the video to go on. Why don't I want the video to go on too long? Because I feel like a blab. But I'm blabbing some good shit. So, shh, you're okay. Everything's gonna be fine. We're here for you. This is a check-in for you. See how I'm checking in? This is like, this is kind of like how I do it, right? It starts off like I was already, as you see, I'm kind of calm now, but I was already in high energy and I was realizing I was going too fast and I needed to calm down. So I took that drink. I realized I needed a breath of air. I realized that, you know, I'm comfortable in this field. It's getting a little chilly, but it's not so cold that I need to go get another jacket. My boy! Hey, yo! You come say hi to people. You say hi to people. Well, you can't even see him anymore, but he is here. But yeah, well, this is probably flopping around and stuff. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's basically how you check in. You literally just ask yourself, how am I doing? What do I need right now? Do I feel like there's something that's going on? Maybe there's like a little bit of anxiousness in the back of your head, like I said earlier. Like while I was doing my check-in, like, why am I talking so fast? Because I feel like I'm going on too long in this video. Like I'm scared to make these videos an hour long. Like I'm scared people aren't gonna look at them. But like the fact of the matter is people are gonna watch what they watch. And if you're still here at the like towards the end, because we're getting close to wrapping up here. Thank you. And also at the same time, you're exactly who I'm making these videos for. So why am I worried that you're not going to be here? You know what I mean? I'm putting this on the internet. This is going to be here for forever. I'm not going to take this down. I don't have a reason to. Yeah, I don't have a reason to. It's not like I'm stealing someone's fucking intellectual property or some shit. This is common knowledge. And by common knowledge, I mean like anyone could like find this information on the internet or in books and things of that nature and whatever. So yeah, and throughout history, like honestly, people have been talking about this shit for eons. Anyway, so yeah, check yourself in, you know, because that there's that 10-second pause that we learn in the hibernation period, that in between the stimuli and our reaction, that we also learned in the free will month. So take that when you get the stimuli, like what is the, you know, your reaction to it? Like how can I react, or how can I respond in a way that best suits me, or that helps me in this situation get my needs met, whatever they may be. Maybe you're like, you know, maybe you just did the check-in just like I just did, you know, you're just like check-in, but then you realize, oh, actually I really want to hug, and I actually want tea instead of cold water. Yes. Oh, you're being so sweet. Stop being sweet. You're adorable. My baby. Okay. But yeah, so basically you're just asking yourself, you know, what do you need to basically better help you, bro? He is dirty. You guys can't see it, but oh my god, the dirt from it. I need to give you a bath, bro. Anywho, he's oily. Okay. Sorry, guys. Like, this is complete random. Oh, he's sitting on my foot. Yay! Warmth to my foot. So, yes, next time you find yourself busy, next time you find yourself rushing, next time you find yourself not thinking about yourself, just take a little moment, a little 10-second break. How am I doing today? What's going on? How can I best help myself right now? And then go from there. And then one of my favorite things to do, I love writing letters. Love writing letters. I mean, if you read my blog post, it's obvious that I love writing letters. It's literally set up in the form of a fucking letter. There's so many things on my website that are set up in the form of a letter. I love letters. You write a letter to everything, right? But write a letter to yourself. Like, write a letter to yourself, like the person you were 5 years ago or the person you are today, right? But you're focusing on like who they are, who you were 5 years ago, who you are today, not what you're doing, not. So like, if I were to write a letter to myself, I love these examples. I realize that I really like giving examples. But if I were to write a letter to myself, I'd be like, dear Jamila, you are, like, for today. Hard just you today. Yeah. Dear Jamila, you are the most amazing human being. Okay, I know for sure you guys heard those gunshots, but we're just gonna move on. Orion, chill. You're fine. You don't need to go check. No, you don't need to go check out the gunshots. Okay, he's still here. But a letter to myself, like, you know, dear Jamila, you're just like the most amazing person that I know right now. Like, you're the one of the few people I know in my entire life that actually stays in the moment, actually gives a fuck about how you're doing throughout your day. And when you wake up in the morning and you look at yourself in the mirror and you don't even see the little tear marks from when you're sleeping and the drool and all that, you just see yourself and you're just like, damn, I'm glad I'm awake, and god damn it, I look sexy. That just makes me so excited and so happy to like wake up every morning, just to know that even though I look kind of crazy or I be acting kind of crazy sometimes, I still love myself unconditionally with everything that I have, because I know that I have. And I'm also just grateful that every time that I smile at myself in the mirror, it just makes me excited. It just, something about it just makes me excited. And every time I record these videos and I watch them back, it makes my heart sing. like reminds me that I'm able to speak my truth and to get my word out there and to speak on things that I believe in, and it helps other people. And I know that's something that I do, but it's something that I do now that I never did before. Like I used to. Okay, I'm kind of leaving the format of the letter right now, but I just wanted to let you go. It's like I seriously would used to like not say anything because I was so scared to say something and it'd be the wrong thing or like not true, or like I'd be received in a way that was like not the way that I wanted to be received. So I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't even tell people what I believed. I literally would be like, "What do you believe?" and then go off of that, and then like basically fabricate some lie, like not completely a lie, but like just so that it would look better for them or look better to them, right? And that's something that I stopped doing. I've like speaking my truth, even if I speak my truth, and every single time I speak my truth, the person that's receiving the truth that I am giving them from my perspective, it may not be their truth, but from my perspective, even if every single time they reject me, I'm still gonna give you my truth, because there are people who I've come across who actually they really value my truth and really value what I have to say, and there's no reason for me to be afraid. There's a reason to be scared of what people might think, because I know that I have my own back. And see, that's another thing too. I am so grateful that I have my own back. Like I used to not have my own back. I used to sit there and just like watch myself get like run over like emotionally and just like mope for days. Like, it was bad. So, I'm just grateful for that. I'm grateful for myself for that. And I want you guys to get like really in the nitty gritty for the letters. Like I want you to, like, if you're gonna do the letter, of course. And I want you to really sit there and be like, what is it that you like, about yourself? Not just like about yourself, like what is it, like who you are that makes you feel proud, or who you are, what it is about you that makes you who you are, that it just provides you with this profound sense of, I guess, identity. That's probably like the best way to describe that. Of course, mine was an example. It doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to sound like you're trying to sex yourself up, like you, like I'm trying to get in my own pants. But that's how I feel about myself. Like not exactly that way, but I feel like I want to marry myself. Like I love myself. Like I've been with myself for so long now, and I just feel ready to like truly marry and be one with myself. That makes sense, right? Like I really want that solitude, Okay, so the next part is the closing. Well, actually, before the closing, I just want to say real quick, but there's all kinds of tools. Like you don't just have to like use these tools in order to get to know yourself better. You can do other tools, but I really suggest, if you don't do the solar date or the letters to yourself, really check in with yourself every day. Just check in yourself. It doesn't have to take that long. I mean, you saw me in the video. I'll probably have a little timer on the, not timer, but like a little thing. Like it took me like 20 seconds to check in with myself, and then I was back to the video. You know what I mean? And my energy is not as frantic, or not as frantic, but not as fast paced as it was before. Yeah, you can tell it's more like it was in the beginning when I first started, kind of calm and like collected, rather than like I have to get this out before So yeah, just check in with yourself, please. Check in with yourself. It doesn't need to take that long. A minute of your time, unless you're a doctor in the ER or a EMT or a police people in the middle of a shootout, or you know what I mean? Like you're not in a situation. If you're not in a situation like that, a minute to breathe, a minute to check in with yourself. That is so invaluable. Like a minute, just 1 minute, literally. Get on your smartwatch, your phone, whatever the fuck you got, right? Scroll to your little timer, click 1 minute, check in with yourself. As soon as the timer stops, you can go back to what you're doing. But it's only a minute. A minute is not that long. In this microwave society where people want things right the fuck now, a minute is not that fucking crazy. Take the time for yourself. Take the time for yourself. Now, back to the conclusion. I know. He looked at me like, what? Take what? My dog. He's laying down now, kind of facing me, but anyway. Okay, so the closing, the foundation of the tapestry, because like I said, we're weaving this red red thread, and we can't weave a tapestry with a broken loom. We can't weave without the tool that we need, which is us. In our Monday motivation, one of the things I mentioned was like, not only are we the tailor, but we're also the thread and the needle. Like, we're all three of those things. Like I said earlier, I was talking about the mind, body, and soul connection, right? The mind, body, and soul connection. Let's see. The greatest example of this, the mind is the thread, the mind is the needle, the thread is the body, and the soul is the tailor, the seamstress, the one that's actually like weaving that bitch in there, right? So, without a needle, someone could probably, put the thread through the cloth. It would take a long time, but they could do it. It would be very, very, very difficult. Without thread, the needle has nothing there's nothing to weave. Without the seamstress, or not seamstress, I keep saying that, or tailor, it doesn't matter. Someone who mends clothes or makes clothes. When they, you can't, without that, the thread in the needle are pointless. There's no reason to have it, that it just exists. It's just like this paper. Like, this paper can't tell you. I mean, it can tell you if you were physically here, but it can't tell you what I'm trying to tell you right now. Like, even if you were physically here, these are just speaking points. This isn't like the real like body of like what I'm trying to speak. That's me. That is who I am. So, you need that. You need all like you need all of the portions in order to make it work. So why does any of this matter? Why does the relationship with yourself fucking matter? Because you fucking matter. I know that's cheesy and corny and I'm making a face, but you fucking matter, okay? And when you weave your life like into like when you like create a life, a beautiful woven a beautiful woven life with others and around others and through others of your own, we can't if we want that, if we want to have that beautiful life or that fulfilling life, that life that's colorful, thriving, like vibrant, you know what I mean? We can't do that if we don't, like I said earlier, if we don't have the thread, or if or the thread is frayed like beyond belief, or if the needle's destroyed, or your hands are broken, as the tailor, or you can't do anything without your hands, really. I mean, you could try, but it's still going to be difficult. But like, it matters because of what we want for ourselves, of what we want with our lives. That's why it matters. It matters because you're here. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, I know it matters to you. There's no way you would have sat through nearly an hour of video just to be like, I don't care. Why would you do that? Maybe you don't care and you just want to see how I was giving some of these videos, presenting some of these videos back in the day. Because I have a feeling that, if you're from 10 years in the future, I've definitely stopped using a lot of filler words, a lot more pauses, more sophisticated, definitely been on TV by now. Tooting my own horn, I don't know. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I really don't know what 10 years, what in the next 10 years is going to hold. I might be on TV. I might not never be on TV. I might only be on the internet. Like, I don't know. I don't know. But all I do know is that, like, you're here for a reason. You're here to, like, do something. And even if you are just here to see how I used to deliver myself, I hope you learned something. And if you're not, then obviously you're here now and more in the present. And I'm glad that you're here. And I'm glad that you're learning. And I'm glad that you're existing and are here. And I hope that you comment. Please, let's comment. Every time I get on the thing and I see that I have a comment, I only check my comments like once a week. But when I get on there and I see that I have comments, I'm like, and I get on there and comment with people. But yeah, I need to check my comments more than once a week. It's no bueno. I need to be checking them on it instead of waiting. But there's no but. So the prompt for this week which is actually the same prompt as last week, but it's perfect. At first I was like, but no, it's perfect. The prompt from last week is, if I prioritize my peace as much as my productivity, what would my daily schedule actually look like? And the prompt this week is also the same. So if you were here last week, then, same prompt as last week. But if you weren't, you're just here. Like, again, think of it, just think of it. If you prioritize your peace as much as your priority, your productivity, like, what would your day look like? Would your day look more relaxed? Would your day look more busy? Would your day look more evenly balanced? Would your day look more like you checking in with yourself? Would your day look like a combination of all of those things? Or, how would your day look? I want to know. I'm curious, because no one really, some people responded last week. No one really responded directly to the prompt last week. They might have done it this week, but I haven't checked it to see if they have. But, what is your daily schedule like, right? So, yeah, like I said, like, you guys are that prize. You guys are that fish you were looking for in the sea. You guys are that one that's gonna hold you down when you feel like you're gonna go crazy. You are the one that you need. You are the one, the sun, the one. I don't know the words, so don't quote me. I'm sorry. I'm just being goofy at this point, because I love myself and I'm a weirdo. And you guys are still here. You guys are still here. I love you. It's been over an hour. Or pretty damn near close to, because I know there's a couple minutes I have to like cut out from the beginning of this. But yeah, so I want to leave you guys with the encouragement. You are the most amazing person in your own life. You are the one. You are the chosen one. You are the destined one. You are the one the light shines on randomly in the dark alley, because you are chosen by the Creator. You're chosen to lead. You're chosen to live your life. You are chosen to be the person you're meant to fucking be, because you are so fucking amazing. Yeah. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise, because you are who you are. Yeah. One of these days I'll come up with a song or an outro or something. I don't know. I have someone who makes music. I know someone who makes music just in their house, so we'll probably make something and I'll eventually have an intro and an outro. And for right now, if you guys want more information, if you guys want more resources, you can check down below. My link tree is not down below, so you can go to all of my social medias, and you can check out the website. Of course, like I said, the links for the blog posts will be down below. So like I said, pick out whatever. So if you want to go into like what I used to write, or the stuff that I wrote back in the day, it's not even like that. It's less than a year ago. The stuff that I wrote when I first started about self-love and self-care, you can go check that out down below. Of course, you can check out the blog post if you want to read that now that you've seen this and it's like, oh, okay, cool. Go check that out. And yeah, if you want to support me, that would be great. I haven't been telling anybody this, but I would love monetary support, because there's things, like, having a website costs money, and I would love some money to help with that, and just get me started helping with that stuff, because there's things that I would like to use that would make this process a lot easier, a lot smoother. That would be great. And I can't really do this without you guys. I really can't. I literally had someone help me with the website, like literally repay for the domain last year. So blessings. But I love you guys so much, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your 24 hours, wherever you are on the 24-hour scale. And I love you guys. Can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye.